Hey guys, it's me, the V-Man here, and I'm going to give you a little walkthrough of the editing of my Mine Kart picture, which I released just the other day. So, there are a couple things I want to let you know beforehand. The program that I used to record the video, Cam Studio, it's kind of retarded, and if you try to record a video that's too long, it'll break and not save the video. So a couple of the important parts, which I spent a lot of time on, ended up not getting saved, and I wasn't able to show you them. It skips over. So there are going to be a couple of little skips, and the other thing is that I had to speed this movie up 16 times in order for it to fit YouTube's 10-minute time limit, so you're going to have to keep up with a pretty quick pace, but I'll try to keep a running commentary. So right now I've already gotten some of the editing done. Didn't record it. I got the lights for the two carts done, but it's nothing more than just like making a circle and glowing it. So it's nothing really that complex, and I should assume that you know how to do glow. So, alright, here we go. So I start off, and now I'm working on the light for the back cart, the bomb cart. And so I isolate a little circle, I fill it in with yellow, because the interior of red lights are actually yellow instead of like pure white. It'll make it a good, make it look more realistic if you ever want to do a glow from a red light. So I'm doing some more glow, I'm adding more layers, blurring them some more. And then I'm going to start working on the light beam here, but then it skips over, and I've already even got the sparks done. Like I said, it skips over these bits, so I'm sorry I wasn't able to show you that part, and I wasn't able to show you the sparks either. One thing that I want to stress is the importance of the screen layer option. You can find it in the options above your layers, hence layer option. But screen lets you layer things over without it darkening anything else, so it's really great for glow or effects that you just want to make stuff bright, and it's really useful. You should try experimenting with it, because when I first found out about it, I was like, holy crap, this is cool. Here I'm working on the lens flare here, and I tried doing a similar thing for the other cart, but it didn't really work out. It just kind of looked dumb. And apparently, from your guys' opinions, this one, or the green one, also looked dumb, so probably should have just skipped that. Here I'm starting to work on some shading, and I was originally going to do a lot of like detail shading and stuff like that, but it all ended up just not really working. The only bit of shading that I actually kept throughout this entire bit was just that little bit that I did in the very beginning underneath the cart from the axle. Here I try to add some shading on the Heavy's vest here. I isolate a little area, and then I decide, wait, that didn't work, so I isolate the whole thing. I try to add some shading. I tried doing that, tried to use some, or try to paint the shading on, like in that tutorial by that RMS13 guy. If I get your name wrong, I'm sorry. But like I said, it all just didn't work. So here I'm going, and I'm trying to make like a lens flare, and it also doesn't really work. I'm just trying to get some sort of visual thing from this light. And here I'm starting to work on the lava. So I looked at some reference pictures for lava. I'm fiddling about with layer options, and I start painting it in just using a big fat circle brush. And this is all done with the mouse, by the way, which is a pain in the ass. So I'm going in there with the circle brush, really low opacity, going in with different colors, black, red, white, orange. I'm just painting around. And the way I'm thinking about doing this lava is that I'm going to make these bits, and then I'm going to just be able to duplicate them and throw them all around. And I'll be able to be lazy like that and make it really easy. And so I actually do a lot of duplicating in my pictures. I was actually for a second thinking about duplicating the sparks, but then I said, nah, it'll be too obvious. But I use duplicating a lot when I'm making smoke or other effects like that, because it saves time and it really works well. You can make it subtle enough so that people don't notice that you duplicated it, and it just like cuts the time in half. So here I go, I'm just duplicating that single white area. I've decided that the dark bit didn't look that good, so I'm going to mostly make it out of the white bits, and going to layer the dark bits underneath a little later. So I'm going around adding some layers, and one thing I want to tell you while I'm just doing this is a little trick that I found out in GIMP. One of the difficult things about using the screen layer option, like I mentioned earlier, is that it's difficult to merge them all down together because otherwise it kind of like messes up the bloom. It doesn't make it look right, like some of the coloring gets off and it doesn't become as intense as it originally intended to be. So one thing that I figured out is that you can actually put a black layer underneath all of your glow layers or whatever, and then make all of the other layers other than your glow and the black layer invisible, then merge them together, and then color black to alpha, and then it'll allow you to get the glow without it getting changed at all. Here I'm starting to isolate away the orange. I'm isolating around the tracks so I can get my lava layer that I just finished up underneath everything. And I assume you all know how to isolate, but like I say, remember, always isolate before you shade. Don't shade without isolating, because it really, really screws your pick. Just don't do it. Okay, so I use the perspective tool to get my lava in there. I fiddle around with the contrast a little more, make it fit the picture a bit more. I'm going around, and here I start trying to draw the bubbles. I wasn't entirely sure where to go. Like, all of this is really experimental, so I'm going around, I'm trying to figure out what it should look like. The original lava bubbles were going to be like really shaded and weird looking, and it just didn't work. I'm going around, I'm trying to get it so that it looks like it fades into the lava. I'm trying to add like a little base here, and it all just doesn't work, so I'm like, fuck it. So here I'm looking at some reference pictures for lava splashes, and right here I am zipping through all of the brush work that I did for the lava. Once again, this is all just a regular circle brush, full opacity with this. This was my first time doing any, like, hand drawing any sort of liquid, so I really didn't know where I was going at first, and I was actually considering getting rid of this at first, but after looking at some more reference pictures, then I finally I kind of got the idea, and so there I erased a bunch of the thicker bits. I'm erasing a little bit more to make it not quite so cluttered, and it all actually ended up working quite well. Like, and so here I'm trying to get some pictures of like paint splatter, and I was originally going to take this paint splatter and replace the one that I had drawn, get rid of all that hard work, but then I decided against it, because once I had the paint splatter, I was able to look at it for a bit of reference to see how the splatter should have looked. So I'm looking at some more reference pictures, and now I did a big skip. Now you can see I've already got all of the lava in there. I used another reference picture. I've already gotten some of the glow on there. I've already gotten the bubbles in. So then there's that black screen trick I did again. So I'm just duplicating layers and adding some more glow, and any second now there should be another... There we go. Now I've already got like all of the glow on the lava as well. It all skipped that as well. Fucking Cam Studio. So now I'm duplicating the lava layers, fiddling about with the colors, and one thing that you want to do when you're making glow is to make it so that the glow isn't all one color. You want to make it so that, like, if you're doing like a red glow, the inside of the glow is more orange or yellow, or if you're doing like a blue glow, you want to make sure the inside is more like a cyan or greenish blue, and then the outside is like a little bit like turning towards purple. So now I'm just isolating the bits that I want to shade, doing some very basic, very quick shading, and it's just quick. It just adds a little bit of contrast to the picture, makes them look a little better. I'm doing some environmental shading. I re-isolate so that it doesn't get cut off. I'm going around, and here I try to actually fix the clipping on the cart, if you didn't notice it, which is, it's pretty obvious, but I decide against it. It just doesn't work. So now I'm adding some more light coming off from the side of the screen. You can just do this with gradients. You can just do a color gradient from the side of the screen. It makes your picture look pretty cool and adds a bit of nice lighting touch. Here I'm trying to draw some sparks, or like embers that were going to be coming off the lava, but I decided against it. So now I'm just erasing little bits from the environment to make it look so the lava is more 3D and has like ripples in it. And I'm going around and doing a little bit of spot checking. Here I try to do a bit of shading on the soldier, but it doesn't really work either, so I get rid of it. And here I try to do a little bit of a heat rippling effect, but it also doesn't work, and I get rid of it. This is probably one of my more simple edits. I didn't really go all out with the effects. I just sort of kept it to the basics, the lava splashes, the stuff, the glow. I was being a little more conservative, letting Gmod do more of the shading for me and the lighting and cool effects like that. And so yeah, so that's it. And I hope you enjoyed my video. I'm 5 seconds from 10 minutes, so See ya.